tell me when. Yan. Every moment's a day. Tapos ilalagay mo yung picture ng Congress, yung mga congressman po. Every day seems like a lifetime. Tapos picture ni nakangiti si BBM. Talagang mana tayo dyan, mga kameta. Ito na, live na tayo, guys. Ito na. Welcome back to pinakabalahurang show sa Pilipinas. Sige na nga, I'll concede na close fight yung number 1. But, pagdating sa balahuraan, let's be honest, guys. Cool Pals lang talagang katapat natin dyan. And speaking of Cool Pals, thank you so much sa lahat ng mananood kanina at kahapon dun sa Cool Pals episode natin. The feedback seem to be very good. May mga 1-2 DDS lang ng comment na sablay. But almost universally, parang pag Rotten Tomatoes yan, super rotten, super very good yung feedbacks. You can check that on Spotify. Social kasi ang mga Cool Pals, guys. They're exclusively on Spotify na. So unfortunately, you cannot see our episode on YouTube or Facebook. You can see snippets of our discussions, but you have to go to Spotify to check it full. At actually, nalaman ko last month, meron na rin comments. But sa Spotify, may comment sections na rin. Napansin ko rin dun sa Spotify ko rin, parang may comments na pala. So, thank you so much sa lahat ng mga good comments and suggestions. Kitang-kita niyo, guys, yung pagkabalahura natin talagang gumana. Nasabayan natin in my ultimate sobriety and seriousness. Nasabayan natin yung mga, mga vibes at saka humor ng mga kaibigan natin. Meron pa sila mga entry ng mga Elvis Presley moves, mga ganun. So, I'm super glad na natuloy yung achievement unlocked. Cool Pals feat. Hey Daryani, yan talagang the best. And looking forward to returning the favor and returning to collaboration. Kahapon rin kasama natin si Red Oliero, yung isa pa naman ng kaibigan natin. So I was thinking siguro one day pwede kami gumawa ng tour namin, di ba? Kung sila Joe Rogan, may tour sila. Hindi nga gawa rin kami ng ganun, pero mahabang usapan si Joe Rogan. Anyway, balik tayo dito. Thank you so much again. So you can check actually yung latest episode natin. I don't know if this has to do something with Cool Pals, pero nakadagdag ng 70 new ratings ang ating Spotify. We are now at 721 ratings, pero 4.8 out of 5 lang tayo, diba? Siyempre guys, competitive tayo, at least dapat 4.9, diba? Mahirap na, it's a tough world, competitive. So please lang, don't forget to check Deep Dive with Richard Haydarian. Just put my name, Haydarian, lalabas yan. There's only another Haydarian on Spotify na Frenchman yata siya or French based. So obviously hindi ako yon. So it's you just put my family name, lalabas yan, or at least put Richard Haydarian or Deep Dive, lalabas yan sa podcast. So libre lang po yan. At saka malalaman yan, andyan yung royal purple color. Favorite natin yan, royal purple color next to Tiffany. So please forward, share, and follow us. Target po natin eventually also have our own kind of a Spotify style of events, maybe, but preferably in tandem with other great folks, no? Sila Red Oliero, Cool Pals, I don't know, we're looking hopefully down the road, all of us can do it together. Kung gusto rin sumama yung mga vloggers, sige, let's see. But so, thank you so much again. So go to Cool Pals, fantastic guys, simple lang title, episode number 706, Professor Richard Haydarian. Sabi ko, wag niyo ilagay yung professor, di mo ako matanda. Lagay ng Richard lang po. Simpleng tao. Yan, ang dami ng comments. So, 91 comments po. Wow, 91 comments pa lang nakikita ko dito. Ayan. Petition to more. Puro more. Solid. I like this episode. Ayan. Imagine Cool Pals in critical thinkers develop. Nice. I thought, ito yung pinakagusto kong comment isa sa top 3 ko to. I thought magiging awkward at first pero hindi, ang solid. So, siguro akala nila nerd tayo, no? Well, I'm kind of nerd, but siguro akala nila hindi ko masakyan yung humor nila, hindi na alam. Mas balawra pa ako. Solid episode, guys. More of this. Marunong pala magtagalog si Kuya. Ito yung guest niya na literal na kupal. Yan ang DDS na yan, mga kaibigan natin yan. Bitin, more pa. Napaka-solid. Sarap ng kwentuhan. Yan. May isa pang DDS dito, pero more or less, out of 91 comments, mga 87, 88 dyan. Ito pa, very neutral yet informative. Very informative. Ganda ng usapan. Good episode. So you can read all of this, guys. Just go to Cool Pals. Fantastic, guys. Syempre, yung humor nila, medyo, alam mo na, medyo TNL, tunay na lalaki, Pinoy style. Meron pa nag-comment kanina, ganda pala ng comments ni Sir, hindi ko lang type yung konyo accent niya. Parang, guys naman, di ba, you can't ask for everything. Hindi natin matanggal yung mga probinsyanong konyotic accent natin. Alam naman tayo mga Baguio people, Englishero, feeling ka no, yung mga ganun. Alright. Okay guys, ang dami natin pag-usapan. In fact, mukhang sa Kaka Chloe, sa Kaka etong Marites sa politika natin, pag-usapan din natin ito kay Sara latest. Ayan, nakatakas tuloy. Literally, alis na si Go. Go na nga, alis na pa. At kung saan na napunta at sino pa nag-booking, Riza Ontiveros na naman. In fact, I think if you look at it, Riza Ontiveros is, minimension ko si ma'am kasi andun siya sa kabilang channel kanina. Baka naman. Anyways, no worries. Tomorrow, we're gonna have Bam Aquino, former Senator Bam Aquino dito sa RRM show natin sa studio live, God willing, with our good friends, of course, with Ronald, with Mark. So, abangan yan. Bukas pag-usapan natin yan. We're hoping to get, again, Attorney Jokno also on our show. We hope to reach out to people across the political spectrum. Baka naman, yung iba rin gusto sumali sa atin. Thank you also and shout out dun sa Philippine Navy, Real Admiral Trinidad, thank you so much, sir, for a fantastic discussion we had kanina. Dun sa naman show natin, The View from Manila, ukol sa Pilipinas, West Philippine Sea, and solid discussions about our national security. Shoutout din kay Dindo Manhit, Professor Manhit from Stratbase. The other day naman pinag-usapan natin ang investments, industrial policy, among others. I know medyo all over the place tayo, but that's what we have to do, guys. Kailangan talaga natin uhaw na ang bayan para sa ating kinabukasan. Parang congressman. No, I see a lot of demand. I see a lot of thirst, no, and for good discussions and knowledge. So nagpapasalamat ako sa Diyos na meron tayo itong mga platforms na to, and we work very hard for these platforms, you know, guys. I think I'm episode, let me double check, episode magsi 600 na tayo, guys, right? So I'll probably start putting numbers na. And by the way, this is just the Spotify version and all. Naka 2,000 vlogs na tayo sa YouTube natin. So please don't forget to follow us on our YouTube, Richard Haydaran Vlogs. Ayan, 2,100 videos naka-upload. Obviously, not all of them are metas and all of that, but nevertheless, at least dito, ayan, 2,200 videos naka-upload. Pero sa Spotify, I think we're episode 600. Pa 600 pa lang tayo. So, thank you so much for your support throughout all of these long conversations that we have had throughout the years. Na-upload na rin po natin yung ibang episode, yung kay Paeng naman next natin. Sorry, medyo nagkaroon kami ng problema dun sa editing kasi wala kasi kami budget ang malong editing Baka naman, sir, 8,000 yung editing fee. Sabi ko namin ni Mark, hindi, tayo na lang mag-edit yan. Tapos biglang nagpadala nung yung production. Oh my goodness, 4 na audio na taga 1 gigabyte each. Tapos, so parang, wala, abutan tayo ng 10 gabi yan. So, ang ginawa ko, nag-edit pa ako, ginamit ko yung audio ng live, and then superimpose ko dun sa, meron tayong visual. So, not 100% kayo nagkaroon ng audio problem kanina na upload na natin yung episode natin with my former boss. Hindi naman boss, but my colleague, head ng former GMA News online na si J-Mark. Si Sir J-Mark obviously just finished his fellowship at Harvard, and he actually computer science yung background niya, so he made his own app using AI for journalism. So particularly dun sa episode natin, pinag-usapan namin paano mo pwede gamitin AI for good cause, including analyzing COA reports, right? So you want to, for instance, understand ano yung mga patterns in COA reports. You want to do some regression analysis about, regularity of mentioning of certain, key concepts, ganun. Yung AI niya, pwede niya gawin yan. So, he's doing a lot of great job based on sa Nieman Fellowship niya in Harvard to make sure na maging AI-friendly ang Philippine journalism, and at the same time, AI will also be more friendly to factual journalism. So, please check that out. That episode, naka-upload na po yan. Of course, nagsimula tayo dun sa bardagulan namin about Gilas Pilipinas. Obviously, alam niyo naman, hindi naman totoo na anti-basketball ako. I like naman basketball. I enjoy basketball, especially at highest level, at especially kung nananalo tayo. Di ba? Yun lang, medyo siguro, pero nagsimula yan kasi nag-aasaran kami. Sabi ko, di ba may pinost tayo na, di ba may nag-post na parang something like, wow, nag-goal tayo sa gymnastics, sa ganito, ganyan. Tapos, pero basketball pa rin tayo. Tapos nag-comment ako, oo nga, kulang ng styling budget, yung mga ganun. So, of course, alam ko marami naiinis sa akin sa mga ganyan patama natin. But no, I love Gilas and I'm glad that we won the Asian Championship. But I'm just saying, there's more to sports than basketball. And sana naman yung budget mapunta rin din dun sa ibang sports, no? Especially from private sector. Kasi sobrang limited naman yung budget ng Philippine Sports Commission. So you could see all of this discussion now on upload natin. Yung kay Payeng naman tomorrow, you can see from my eyebags na hanggang 2-3 a.m. every night na nag-edit and upload kami. Ang bagal pa mag-upload nowadays, I don't know. And minsan malaking files. I mean, people think that podcasting is just producing. They don't know is there's uploading, there's editing, all of that. Super dami-dami yan. So thank you so much for your support for us to keep that momentum. Anyway, mukhang nagdagsaan po yung ating mga memes over the past 24-48 hours. Ayan, yung latest na pinost namin, yung the one that got away. Ito si Alice Go. I mean, President Marcos Jr.'s office released a while ago a kind of a strongly worded statements that heads will roll and all of that. But let's see. Kasi I heard the same thing dun sa Sony last year about yung mga kababalagan nangyari sa importation, sa ganyan. But we have to see. So, you know, action speaks louder than rhetoric. But in fairness, at least the statement is solid and there's a clear recognition by no less than the president na may problema talaga tayo. This is embarrassing for our country na ganyan ka high profile na tao tumakas pa. At in the meantime, hindi pa rin nahuli si Kibuloy. Alright? Or si Bantag. Or si Teves pa. Ano nangyari doon? So, this is not reflecting good on the Marcos administration, to be honest. They have to show more toughness. Unless, sabi ko, baka may 3-in-1 silang package na deal. Mamaya kung gusto nila huliin siya, isabay na nila si Kibuloy and all of that. I don't know what's going on. But at least what we know is that on the ground, some movements are happening. And speaking of movements, guys, eto na, we have no less than Sara Duterte herself confirming na alam niya na may diskusyon ukol sa impeachment laban sa kanya. And she had a long conversation, a long-ish and semi-interactive. I think first time ko nakita na back and forth siya with media, especially media dito, na not necessarily friendly media, but also not necessarily, unfair media. Great people, amazing people. So there was some sort of back and forth there, and I want us guys to watch yung kanyang panoorin natin yung sinabi ni Sara Duterte dun sa kanyang press conference. I think one of the very few press conferences na hindi lang nagbabasa from script or hindi lang yung hi guys, hindi lang ganon. In fairness naman, may back and forth siya, and there was a certain degree of spontaneity and all, which I felt was refreshingly revealing, if I can put it that way. And I'll show you guys why. I'm just trying to pull out yung link natin kasi it's a long 10 to 15 minutes conversation, but I showed some of the highlights. You're free to check the full version on ABS-CBN. I'll post the link for you guys to see it, but I'll just show you some of the highlights para makita niyo yung sinasabi natin. Pag-usapan din natin yan tomorrow with sila sa RRM show naman natin, para you can also see where I'm coming from. But let's just go through that para you get to see na ito yung sinasabi natin, impeachment, hindi lang Maritas yan. And I confirmed na 240 congressmen were potentially open to supporting an impeachment. So it's not like 1 or 2 and then that. So if ever magpupush yan next week, ano yan? Tsunami style yan. Now, as I said, of course, it goes down to whether there are going to be enough senators to block it kasi kailangan ng both houses to push ahead with impeachment. In terms of timing, I was told na kaya naman daw. Of course, these are the people who are for impeachment. They're saying na kaya naman daw squeeze in before September 30. But anyway, I already gave my pros and cons on that. Personally, I'm skeptical about the impeachment prospects. Personally, I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. Is this ano lang? May term ako dyan eh. Wait lang ha. Ayan, wait lang ha. Ayusin natin to guys. Ba't walang audio? Ito.
Gusto na kami sa Mindanao at sa Visayas. Sabi ko sa kanila,
So,
okay,
dito,
sige, dahil maraming...
So dito, in-explain muna ni Sara, in fairness, binalikan niya yung theme ng unit team. Kasi parating sinasabi ko dun sa mga DDS na kaibigan natin, reklamo kayo ng reklamo. Kayo yung kasama sa unit team eh. Kayo naman ang panalo dyan eh. Diba? And Sara kind of went back. So it's a strange melange, if I can put it that way. Medyo halo-halo siya in a sense that parang you could see she's just thinking out loud eh. But I liked it. At least hindi siya scripted or anything like that. At makikita mo talaga na challenge siya. And she's trying to say multiple things at the same time. So, I'm just trying to show it also dito sa mga kaibigan natin sa kabilang kampo. Para ma-appreciate niyo yung context. So, kasi I was watching it very carefully. So, habang pinagtatawanan niyo yung libro niya and all of that, iwalay natin pag-usapan yan. I went to this press conference and I felt it was very, very refreshing. By the way, let me also say thank you very much dun sa followers natin. In fact, one of the reasons why alam natin saan yung anong press conference nangyari ganyan is because a lot of our friends, followers natin, ay nagvo-volunteer na nagfo-forward na kanilang research. Obviously, because I'm paranoid, I'm just not gonna click anything just like that, right? Gumagamit ako ng dummy phones, whatever. But anyway, thank you so much sa lahat ng mga followers natin na nagfo-forward ng relevant information and all that to make sure na I keep in touch. I have no researcher. I have no team. I have no production team. So this is all me. Even the editing and all of that is practically me. All of the CapCut editing is me. All right? So thanks to your support, guys, I've been able to pull this off. I have no sponsors. I have no whatever. This is all sariling sikap. Yung studio, kami rin nagbabayad, just to be clear. Sarili namin sikap yan, di ba? Thankfully, there's Mark there to share. but you get what I'm saying. So thank you so much again to your support. It's very important. So ito yun ito yung sinasabi natin na press conference. Like, okay. Ito.
Big ticket projects. Si Pangulong Duterte sa Davao City, sa Mindanao at sa ibang lugar pa ng ating bansa na gusto nating mapatuloy. Kaya nga, di ba, tumakbo kami on the platform of unity and continuity. Na hindi natin nakikita ngayon.
Important yun She emphasized unity but continuity. Meaning, the expectation is gusto niya tuloy yung mga proyekto ng kanyang ama. But I think we know also what is the implication there. Gusto niya essentially Marcos will be a Duterte 2.0. Instead of a Marcos 2.0, we'll get a Duterte 2.0 under unity whereby the Dutertes are still a big voice in our politics. So, again, very interesting. Of course, she's not saying it, but you can read it in between lines. Yung emphasis niya ng
unity and continuity na hindi natin nakikita ngayon.
Nakikita ngayon. So, she's directly criticizing the current administration, implying na, essentially, well, I have to be careful with the term I use. They turned back on their initial, I mean, I could put it in a more brutal way, di ba? Para, you get what I'm saying, di ba? Kaya yung mga Buljak TV, mga ganyan, mga Harlika type, kaya inis na inis sila kasi hindi ginawa ni BBM yung in-expect nila.
Big ticket projects. Wala na lahat. Unappropriated. So, pagpaalisin nila ako dito, or impeach nila ako, hindi kawalan sa akin.
Yun, wala daw kawalan.
Ang posisyon na Vice President.
Hindi kawalan sa akin ang position ng Vice President. That's literally what she said. Pakinggan niyo, hindi kawalan sa akin ang posisyon.
Hindi kawalan sa akin ang posisyon na Vice President. In the first place, hindi ko naman gusto tumakbong Presidente. Hindi ko gusto tumakbong Vice President. Tumakbo lang ako dahil kailangan mapatuloy.
But this is interesting. She said, hindi ko gustong tumakbong Presidente. But that was not the conversation. The conversation was Vice President. So she immediately implied na alam niya na people knew na she had ambitions to run for the presidency. But eventually she didn't.
Yung development projects sa Mindanao, sa Visayas.
So interestingly, she keeps on emphasizing Mindanao, Visayas. Tumakbo ako kahit ayoko maging bise, hindi kawalan yan, pero tumakbo ako para protektahan yung interest ng ating mga kababayan sa Visayas and Mindanao. That this means solid South. She keeps on emphasizing that all the time. Parati niyang sinasabi yan. So you can clearly see the political positioning na ginagawa ng mga Dutertes and also Sara. So this is essentially their talking point right now. Na yung ginawa niya is essentially sakripisyo, right? For the interest of people from Visayas and Mindanao.
At sa Luzon. At naisip ko...
And then at sa Luzon, obviously, she had to still put that because she's the vice.
At the time, if I am Vice President,
see?
Patututukan yung mga...
Tamang grammar ba yun? Patututukan or tututukan ko? Anyway, never mind.
Na yun, na, okay, wala na rin lahat.
Wala na rin lahat. So she's saying, essentially, I joined this ticket to continue the good projects of my father, especially for Mindanao and Visayas, na wala lahat. So she's directly accusing the administration of not only abandoning the supposed vow to the unity, but also abandoning people of Solid South. That sounds to me essentially positioning herself as the voice of Solid South, and therefore, yun yung magiging base niya for running as
Ngayon,
leader of opposition leaders.
dahil unappropriated na sila lahat.
See, interesting yung
Of course
reporters.
not. I do not regret running for vice president. Kasi imagine ninyo,
Oh, yun.
kung ako mayor ngayon.
Yan ang gusto kong part. Yan, nadulas. Yan. So now you see suddenly she's admitting na kailangan niya talaga maging mataas na position na opisyales because that provides her cushion against yung mga haters. Alright? This is very interesting. So, dito suddenly si Sara goes very spontaneous. Wala na yung mga posture and all of niya. Tingnan nyo. Very interesting. Itong part. Sobrang... In fairness, magaling yung mga reporters. Ayan. Do you regret it? Sabi niya, of course I don't regret it.
Ngayon, at hinahabol-habol nila ako dahil alam nilang pwedeng tumakbo ito sa 2028.
Yun.
Diba? Diba? So, bakit ko nire-regret yan? Hahabulin nila ako. Alam nyo, kahit matanggal nila ako as vice president, hahabulin nila ako until the day na maupo sila sa 2028.
Okay, so obviously when she says 2028, she's saying na hindi si BBM is essentially kalaban niya. I don't know what kind of comment. But parang in-imply niya, alam niya na sino mga to. Yung sa, yung speaker. Okay. Anyway, so, I love PV, Sara? VP, sir. Kung magta-troll naman kaya, isin niyo naman yung script niyo. Ayan na yung mga I love VP, Sara. No, I'm just saying, it's very interesting. She just said, hindi kawalan ang pagka-VP. And then suddenly she says, no, but I need to stay here because they will go after me until talagang wala na ako.
Of course not. I do not
Of course not.
regret running for vice president. Kasi imagine ninyo, kung ako mayor ngayon at hinahabol-habol nila ako dahil alam nilang pwedeng tumakbo ito sa 2028.
So she admitted na she's a potential. I mean, that's an interesting triple speak. It's not even double speak. It's a triple speak she's doing here. So just few seconds earlier, she's saying, hindi ka wala ng VP, and then she admits that
Yung development projects sa Mindanao, sa Visayas, yung hindi kawalan sa akin ang posisyon na vice president. In the first place, hindi ko naman gusto tumakbo president. Hindi ko mas gusto tumakbo vice president. Tumakbo lang ako dahil kailangan mapatuloy yung development projects sa Mindanao, sa Visayas, at sa Luzon.
so essentially her position is one is reluctant siya naging vice president, at pangalawa, she's really doing this just for the people of Visayas and Mindanao primarily na napabayaan, hindi binigyan ng sapat na attention, which actually is true to a certain degree na. I mean, I don't disagree with that. Pero yun yung positioning niya. And then suddenly, nung tinanong siya kung nag-regret ka, then suddenly she breaks into this different character and suddenly said, no, but I need this office, like otherwise they'll go after me, and then they know naman pwede ako
Naisip ko at the time, if I am vice president, patututukan yung mga proyekto na yon na okay, wala na rin lahat ngayon dahil
wala na rin lahat ngayon. That's a very open attack on the administration. So hindi lang Kongreso.
Of course not. I do not regret running for vice president kasi imagine ninyo kung ako mayor ngayon at hinahabol-habol nila ako dahil alam nilang pwedeng tumakbo ito sa 2028.
This is an interestingly open discussion. I like this. This is a very interesting discussion.
Bakit ko nire-regret yan? Hahabulin nila ako. Alam nyo, kahit matanggal nila ako as vice president, hahabulin nila ako until the day na maupo sila sa 2028. Ano? Ngayon na! Mahirap sagutin ang 2028 kasi imagine ninyo, pagbaba ko dito, nahulog ako doon sa hagdanan. Diba? Namatay ako bukas. Sayang yung paghahanda ko. Sayang yung paghahanda ko. Dahil ang layo ng 2028. Dapat magplano for 2028 sa 2027 at fourth quarter ng 2026.
What you have plans of being the next president?
Wala akong planong ganyan. Ano ba sinabi nila? Huwag kami matakot. Hindi kami takot. Hindi kami...
Oh, di ba? Triple speak. Triple speak yung ginawa niya.
huling tanong
Ang daming layers, di ba? Sorry guys, nag-reply ako. I'm supposed to have pala a talk with folks abroad about another project now. May hour differences pala. Sorry about that. To 11 p.m. Yun, sorry about that guys. Inayos ko na. Okay, so I just found it very
Sa
interesting
ngayon, Madam-
na openly inadmit ni Sara na now essentially this is a existential question na ito eh. Na she's saying that the other side is really after them to really bring down the House of Duterte. And that's why it makes sense for her to be in a position of power, to have some sort of cushion. So at once sasabihin niya ayun ang VP, at the same time sasabihin niya, nako kung hindi ako VP, di masiyari pa ako, di ba? So this is an interesting thing. And then may patama siya kay BBM, but at the same time she's saying na ang mas may problema is yung mga tao sa Kongreso. And of course you know who she is implying. Again, I found that very, very illuminating. You know, it was a refreshingly open, honest conversation, which you usually don't get from certain quarters. To be honest about it, so I really suggest guys go back to this and read in between the lines, balibalikan nyo, and look at how the Dutertes, they have this way of speaking from three sides of their mouths, right? Triple speak. Now, obviously you can just narrow it down to what she was essentially saying there, diba? But as we speak, of course, there's some people are saying na if mag-push sila for impeachment, will this give Sara more room to portray herself as a victim? The other school of thought is no. The more pressure you put on her, on the Dutertes, they'll make more mistakes. Essentially, ang tawag ko dyan, boiler room strategy. Put so much pressure on them so that they'll make big mistakes, and then you can go and sweep, clean up, sweep things up. And then the third strategy would be radioactive strategy, right? Just make them look so vulnerable and marginalized na magdadalawang isip yung ibang trapos or yung mga ibang politikos na makisama sa kanila. So either they want to go all the way, but they'll only do that if something big mistake will happen on the part of Dutertes in the coming weeks, or coming days for that matter. The other one is the boiling room strategy. The third one is the radioactive strategy. So there are three different calculations going on here, right? And that's why hindi natin masabi exactly what's going on here. But katulad ng pinag-usapan natin with Justice Carpio and other folks, even Admiral Ong Kapon and mga others, that if you really want to go for impeachment, ang daming pwedeng grounds na i-explore. I also have an upcoming interview now with Sonny Trillanes, obviously very, very outspoken critic of the Dutertes, whose stance is, there's so many grounds to move forward to, and pretty optimistic siya, and hawkish siya na that, if they want to go after Dutertes and hold them accountable, now is the best chance before elections, which is essentially the position of also Ronald Llamas. But my position is, I'm not sure, in a sense that first, there are a number of senators there, kasi 8 senators ang kailangan ni Sara para hindi papasayan, even if may 200 ka sa Congress or whatever. There are senators there who are gonna retire soon, or at least for now, patapos ang term nila, Cynthia Villar, Grace Poe. So hindi mo sila ma-pressure. Anong leverage mo sa kanila? Hindi naman sila tatakbo for re-election. Speaking of re-election, nabuo na po yung slate ng administration. So wala pong grand coalition na mangyayari. Now I don't know if there'll be some side whatever, but officially meron na tayong complete lineup. So kaya actually I'm wondering right now sino maging DLG secretary, kasi si Abalos ay tatakbo ng DLG secretary, maybe Honasan, someone like that, maybe someone that the president can rely on and trust, or someone with a military background or law and order background. I don't know who's no longer running. I doubt that Honasan will run for Senate again if ganyan ang setup. Obviously hindi rin kasama sa Isko, because Isko is running na for mayor of Manila. At medyo mainit-init din yung usapin sa Manila politics. Of course, we have Mark Gamboa to tell us, Mark, what's the... But interestingly, you have some people here who are not necessarily BBM, Team BBM. Alright? Well, wait, but andyan si Aimee. Di ba si Aimee, na Marcos naman siya, kahit pa paano, di ba? Ay, nako. Sabi naman nila, blood is thicker than unity. So ito na yung line up. So interestingly, you have Tolentino, Senator Tolentino, who is the former Political Affairs Secretary. Siya yung Ronald Llamas ni Digong. So that's an interesting turn of events. You have Tito Soto, hindi si Tito Boy. You have Tito Soto there, interestingly, who many thought will run independently since he's doing very, very well in surveys. You have Manny Pacquiao there. Very interestingly, you would also think that Manny Pacquiao has enough momentum to run in his own. Bakit siya sasali sa admin? So you can see, this is a very strong slate. Andyan din si Binay, Abigail Binay. So, wow. Andyan din yung isang Villar na millennial. And mukhang malaking chance na to kasi ang kwento sa akin, every morning, 10-10 kwentong narinig, 10-10 anong pranalo ko yung 2010 nung tumakbo yung Villar, anda puro mga daming jingles. Daming budget. Sarap buhay. Sarap buhay. Sarap buhay. So, baka yan ang maging first millennial senator natin. Talagang galing talaga ng bayan natin, no? Yung mga ating mga milestones. Mga talagang galing sa grassroots. Progressive talaga. Diba? Talagang lumalaban para sa bayan. And then, andyan si Amy Marcos. Andyan si Cayetano. This looks like a unit team. Lito Lapid is running again. But honestly, ayoko na magreklamo kay Lito Lapid kasi akala namin nang tumakbo si Lodi, yun na yun yung pinaka-artista, and then Bato. And then now you have Robin Hood Padilla. My goodness, naka 10 million views na yata yung pinost natin na urge. Andyan din si Erwin Tulfo, who has been consistent in number 1. That's not an assurance he'll beat number 1 because Rafi was number 1 in the service. Eventually, Robin Hood ang number 1. But ang taas ng chance si Erwin Tulfo na mag-top ng Senate race na to, or at least top 3. And then, interestingly, you have Lacson, Senator Lacson. So this looks like a very balanced, very quote-unquote inclusive slate from center, essentially centrists and big families, lahat nandyan. The Binays are there, the Cayetanos are there, the Villars are there, grabe, Sotos are there. Oh, by the way, Revilla. Pong Revilla is there. And then you have celebrities like Pacquiao there, Tito Soto, Lito Lapid there. And then you have one from admin, close to the president, Abalos there, probably felt is the best chance, and then Erwin Tulfo. Alright, so this is a very, very strong slate. Ang tanong if Ben Tulfo will run as independent or run at all, or maybe even runs with the Sara side. Let's look at all of those options. So this is a very interesting setup. So sarado na yung slate. Wala nang sasali from genuine opposition, whether it's Bam, Jokno, or Kiko. At least officially, at least we see in the slate. So, ito na yung senatorial slate. Now, speaking about Senate, interestingly, as far as the Senate is concerned, guys, again, I don't want to be biased, but, and I'm not biased, actually, I think we can more or less, admit at this point that Riza Ontiveros now is the queen fiscalizer, right? If you look at who's the most active dun sa hearings, or at least sino nakakaroon ng most traction in the hearings, sinong talagang, diba? Binabanggaan talaga yung mga malalaking figures and mga others, no one comes close to Riza Ontiveros. Because in fairness to Sherwin Gatchalian, he did very good on the whole Alice Go thing, kudos to him and all of that. But the thing you see with Riza Ontiveros is talagang binabanggaan niya yung mga Dutertes in ways that no other senator is doing, to be honest. I mean, by far. And the latest one, this is not even...
Yung huling tanong ko sa ngayon, Madam Chair,
this is not even her
for
hearing.
2025,
Right.
one of the OVPs...
This is not even her here. This is not... kay Grace po yata tong diba? Tong committee na ito, diba? Ito ba yung sa disinformation, whatever? Sorry, not whatever. I mean, something like... Baka may magalit. Pinamatiwire mo yung ko. Yung ko. Hindi naman, madam. Okay, ito. Hindi kasi naalala ko dati, di ba, may hearing on disinformation, imbita yung mga walang yung trolls, mga propagandist ka, tapos wala rin naman nangyari. Binanatan lang nila yung sarili nilang makapangusapan, hindi ko nababalikan yan. Anyway, ito. So, here, this is not even her committee. So, hindi lang si Kibuloy, hindi lang si now, boom, even sa committee ng iba, talagang she went after the Dutertes, and not only go after Dutertes, after really what many find as really questionable. I mean, what are these projects we're talking about? Ke horror. Nasaan yung Ba't nawala yung guys? Tapos yung rebuttal pa ni Sara. Anong klaseng rebuttal yan? Saan kayo natutunan mag-debate? Ganyan ba? That's not even rebuttal. Sobrang tangential. It's like even not related at all. Tas, di ba yung mukha ni Riza nagbabasa ng libro ng isang kaibigan, which obviously we'll talk about this shortly. Taray, best-selling author, 10 million kaagad, 10 million. Talagang, grabe, galing, self-authored. Kaso, ang tanong, ito.
Yung huling tanong ko sa ngayon, Madam Chair, for 2025, one of the OVP's programs, Pagbabago Campaign, 1 million learners entries,
Alright.
involves the provision of bags to 1 million learners in
Sarap.
remote communities while initiating tree planting activities. This gets an appropriation of 100 million pesos.
Wow.
Part of this campaign is a
I'm all for bags and all of supplies to marginalized communities, but 100 million pesos? Ganun ba kamahal magbigay ng mga... Hindi, that will be around 100 pesos each, right? No, but I'm sure, di ba? Kung ganun kadaming, kung 1 million,
allocation of
pwede
10
mo, you
million
can
pesos
sa
for the
Shopee, you can bring it down to
distribution
20
of
pesos
isang
pa.
kaibigan books, a children's book authored by the VP. Pwede po bang sabihin ni VP sa atin?
Let me make a rebuttal.
Si-
Another example of
Sarah all. Sarah all. Sarah. Ayan. Parang, anong kinalaman ng anong sinasabi ni Madam?
politicizing the budget of the
Politicizing.
government. Ito pong sinabi
Politicizing.
ni Senator Risa Ontiveros na at the proper time she'll make a motion to lodge the budget, the requested budget of the OVP to the other agencies. Let me just quote Senator Risa during the Akbayan Congress.
Di ba parang, saan napunta ang discussion? Napunta sa kongreso nila dun sa... I mean, di ba yun ang... Pansin mo, yung mga DDS vloggers, ganun ang style sila. Sobrang non-sequitur or sobrang tangential. Parang may sasabihin ka about China bullying, biglang, oh, bakit si Pinoy nung panahon ng Mama Sapano? Like, dude, ang pinag-usapan natin, West Philippines... Dude, baka magalit si sir. Ang pinag-usapan natin ng West Philippine Sea. Bakit napunta Come on. I mean, yung mga tingnan na, and Riza holds her ground pretty well here.
Alam ko po na ang daming kalat ni Duterte na hirap tayong linisin. Ang kadiliman noong panahon niya ay talaga namang nanuhol sa ating lipunan
But
para
madam,
mansa
di ba
na napakahirap tanggalin. At habang ang anak niya ay may kapangyarihan pa, hindi magiging madali ang ating laban. While VP Sara is in power, the threat of a full-blown Duterte comeback is still a very real and present danger. For one, they are supported by one major superpower, China. So that is an
Papuntang
example
usapan!
of
Kaya tuloy yung isang kaibigan na yan. Papunta rin sa China
the
pala.
budget of the government. May we request, Madam Chair, that Senator Risa Ontiveros repeat the last question.
Tapos, biglang, ano ulit po yung question? Ang dami sinabi, biglang, ay, wait lang po, ano ulit yung tanong? Pwede ulitin yung tanong, ayan tuloy. Tuloy, ang pinost ko yung diba? Ano sabi na kay Sarah noon? Na si Sarah, ay si Lenny noon, sabi niya si Lenny, ayan tayo, ang daming sinabi, tapos, hanash, tapos, ay, ano po ulit yung tanong? Ayan tayo
I will certainly
Tingnan mo si Riza.
request, Madam Chair, repeat my question dahil walang kinalaman sa kasabi lang ng VP.
Ano daw?
Alam nating lahat na miyembro ng iba't ibang partido, yung speeches natin sa ating mga kamiyembro sa mga party congresses ay hiwalay na event dito sa budget debates. So,
Yun.
I really take exception dun sa sinabi ni VP na rebuttal iyan dahil halimbawa ito sa politicizing. In fact, wala akong tinanong tungkol sa China o kahit sino pa mang ibang bansa dito sa budget hearing na to. I am asking about yung national budget na ipapasa natin sa Kongreso para sa bansang Pilipinas sa taong 2025. At ang pangalawang at huling tanong ko sa ngayon, before I make at the proper time propose an amendment which may or may not be accepted by the chair and by the colleagues para nga mas i-align ang mga kaperahan natin lalo na't
So yun, so Riza made it very clear, like okay, pwede mo kalkalin lahat ng mga sinasabi natin, ayun, yung pwede ko kalkalin yung sinabi mo sa town hall meeting sa Davao, pwede mo kalkalin yung sinabi ko doon sa, but it's irrelevant. Ang usapan dito is paki-explain sa akin ano tong libro na to, bakit 10 million pesos ganito ganito, bakit 100 million peso yung tree planting whatever. Yung, I mean, like natawa ko yung parang ano po ulit yung tanong yun? Ayan tayo Ano ulit yung tanong? Ano ulit na yan? Hindi na talaga ubra yan. Yung mga style ganun, parang hindi kong pwede pa yan. Pero tapos, diba? In fairness naman, after that, si Sarah was, si VP Sarah was like, okay, sige, we will check that. Ayan. Pwede naman utusan yung, assistant secretary, explain namin. But you get what I'm saying? You could see Riza immediately put her in her place. Parang, anong pinagsasabi mo? Kalkalin mo pa yung mga speech ko. Anong kinalaman dito, di ba? Ayan. Pero tuloy dahil salamat naman kay ma'am, siya mismo ang naglabas ng usapan China. Ayan tuloy. Piniyastahan ng mga netizens yung natin, di ba? Grabe naman tong mga versions na to. Yan, pinalitan yung isang kaibigan sa isang kaibigan, sabi nung owl ng China, sabi naman iba, at Nikki Boloy. Tuloy. Yung kapila naman, meron pa naman version ng meme, 125 million pesos sa loob ng 11 days. A children's story. Sarap buhay, diba? Sarap buhay. Talaga, tignan yung mukha ni Riza na nagbabasa ng libro. Yung parang, ano to? Ano ba? Ano? Yung mukha ni Riza, parang nangangasar talaga eh. Ibang klase talaga. In fairness. Now, I saw permutations of this. Pero kanina umaga, biglang may nakita ako nag-post ng something about Canva. Tapos, nag-gold ng Canva, tapos 10 million pesos, tapos gold medal. Anong konteksto ng Canva na yan? Tapos biglang pagtingin ko, okay. Authored. Wait lang, biglang napasin. Authored. Saan galing yung pananulat niya? Diba? Parang, legit ba ito? Yung pala yung context ng Canva. Ibang klase. Grabe naman. Grabe naman yan. Ayan, tuloy lumabas na. Ano ba magano ng subscription? Hindi pa yata premium to eh. Itong Canva. Basic yata to. Parang akala ko yung admin lang yung may mga logo-logo na mahal-mahal. Ito alam ko basic lang ng Canva to. Pwede mo paggawa sa basic na Canva. Yung libre lang. Wala man lang ko subscription 100 pesos per month. Ayan. Legit ba to mga post ng tao? Grabe naman kayo guys. Baka naman yung baka guys, yung logo nga ng ilang million yung binayaran nila sa logo noon. Tsaka yung Love the Philippines, ba 50 million pesos. So, in fairness naman 10 million pesos lang. Pinaghirapan pa yung nila, di ba? Pinaghirapan pa yung Ay. And then of course, to top it all, now there are open accusations na hindi lang medyo malaking budget pero low budget production, ganun ba yung vibes? Uy guys, mabait naman kayo. Yung may nagsasabi, bakit kasama ba yung isang cartoon character na si Guys, wag naman ganun. Uy, magpakabait naman tayo guys. Wag naman tayo ganyan. Alright, ayan. Hindi naman daw plagiarized. Hindi naman plagiarized daw, in fairness naman. Hindi naman plagiarized. Yun lang. Medyo parang kailangan ko rin basahin siguro to. Yung kay saan yan? I'm trying to just bring that out. Dami kasi nagme-message sa akin na sabay-sabay eh. Yung okay, yung may nagsabi ng foreigner na alam ko Pinoy yan, alam ko you're speaking Filipino when I hear yang. O nga mahilig tayo mag yang. Ayan, nasaan na? Ay, hindi ko pala na-post dito. Sa kabila pala, sa kabilang page guys. Well lang. So, meron palang Hoy, umayos kayo. Magpakabait tayo dyan. We're kind people. We're nice people. Ayan, itong Owl. Owl ni Andy Ronson. Yan. Di naman guys, in fairness, medyo iba naman. Fairness naman yung Canva, pinaghirapan hindi naman kamukha na to. Yung Owl lang naman yung the same. Diba? Grabe naman kayo, yung masyado naman kayong harsh. Yan, si Owly. Owly, The Way Home. Yan. Sarah, Sarah. Inisip ko kung meron compendium na music din for children. And alam mo, na-hurt ako. Yung pinost ko na kumanta-kanta ako ng Kwando version. Tapos may nag-comment Siyempre, ready na ako. Sir, ganda ng ganda ng singing talent mo. Hindi. Ang comment nila, sir, ang galing mo mag-compose. Ibang klase. Sir, parang insulto yan kaysa i-compliment yung aking singing skills na may ganun pa kwando. Magaling kang composer. Parang yung maganda ba siya? Gwapo ba siya? Maganda ba siya? Maganda yung ugali. Yung mga ganun, mabait siya. Yeah, parang ganun yung nangyari. Mabait siya. Maganda yung puso niya, yung mga ganun. Parang ganun din ang nangyari. Sir, magaling ka pala mag-compose. Ayan, Sarah, Ollie. Okay, anyway. Dami natin pinagsapan. Kailangan ko na pumunta sa meeting. Pasensya na, mga ka-Canva. In the meantime, pwede ba i-order sa Shopee yan? Zalora. Available pa yan sa Shopee or Zalora? Parang na-curious ako dito sa ganun. Baka gusto rin natin mag-bestseller na 10 million pesos level project. Baka naman, Secretary Angara, baka naman may USEC ka for self-published authors. Hindi, medyo tapos na tayo doon. Ang kailangan natin ngayon, bestseller, parang immediate bestseller authors. Baka naman, may USEC position dyan, di ba? Mamaya, sisirosin naman yung biro ko. I'm more than happy teaching in UP and all of that. Okay, I'm just saying, nagbibiro lang ako. Baka naman. Appreciate nyo kasing sarcasm natin, guys. Ang yun ang problema, ka-DDS, walang sense of humor. Yung humor nila, pang tatay digong lang, na hindi ko alam kung humor bang tawag dyan. Yung mga loyalist naman, naka-loyalist, huwag naman masyadong snowflake. Alright. Unburdened by what has been, guys. On that note, maraming salamat again sa ating mga ka-Mets, mga ka-Cool Pals, ka-KP, mga ka-KP, mga ka-Meta, mga ka-RRM, Project Pilipinas. On that note, guys, tama na yan. Umayos na kayo. Huwag na kayo mag-comment na. Grabe naman kayo, guys. Grabe kayo mag-comment. Masyadong kayo mean. Okay, so, ito, numero 1 Bardagulan podcast in the country. Yan, talagang head-to-head tayo ng Cool Pals para sa Bardaguls. Ganon, at tuloy-tuloy yung discussion natin. So, please don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Spotify. YouTube, Richard Hidarian Vlogs. Libre lang mag-subscribe, libre lang mag-share. Bye din, just bye din sa inyo. Sabi nga ni Sarah, di kawalan sa akin yan. Pero pag hindi ako VP, yan ang mangyayari tayo dyan. Parang ganun. And also, please don't forget to follow us dito sa YouTube and also on Spotify. Just put Richard Hidarian. Lalabas yan. You can check it out. Doon sa YouTube, na-upload na natin lahat ng mga latest episodes natin. Apparently, may nagsabi na bukas daw i-upload yung second part ng discussion natin with Cool Pals. Ang dami natin pinagsapan. Seiko Watch. Bakit Seiko 100 years ago started from zero, habang yung mga oligarchs natin 50 years na, 100 years na, 200 years na, same pa rin ang ginagawa. Malls, land, so we talked about oligarchs, industrial policy, di ba? Medyo serious ang discussion, di ba? Dami namin pinag-usapan. So, you could see the full range of discussion we had that day. I was very exhausted that day. Gabi na yan Naka 2 episodes kami, 2.5 hours. Tapos pagbalik ko, nag-meta pa tayo. Wala na, bumaksak na ako after that. I was so exhausted and all of that. But that's the passion. That's love. That's commitment, right? And that's thanks to you guys for all your support. And thanks also to our friends and followers and and fellow podcasters, Cool Pals and others. Thank you so much for your kind invitation and support. And looking forward to more collaboration. So please don't forget to follow us, Richard Hidarian Deep Dive, and also the Cool Pals. Fantastic, guys. So episode 706, Professor Richard Hidarian. I think 707 will also be us. Back-to-back yan. Thank you sa 89 out of 91 good comments. Yung dalawang DDS dyan, bahala kayo dyan. Ako lang yatang pumansin sa inyo, pero di kawalan sa akin yan. On that note, thank you very much. God bless and talk to you soon. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat. Sarah, 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 oh.